Fracking Ohio rally. I'm Alison Auciello. I'm from Food and Water Watch. I just want to really briefly say a couple words, and then we're going to bring up our first musicians from Cincinnati. What I feel about this state is that we are such an important battleground in this fight against fracking and the fight for renewable energy. For so long now, we've been dependent on fossil fuels, and it's really just time to make the decision to make the switch to a new energy future that doesn't depend on dirty fossil fuels. And really, a lot of you that met with your legislators today probably heard some of the same talking points, that they typically will trumpet to justify continued dependence on fracking and other dirty fossil fuels like, we want to have more fracking, we want to have more injection wells, we want to roll back our energy standards for renewable energy. And really, just enough is enough. We are not seeing the promises come to fruition with this industry. And what we've seen are accidents, leaks, spills. We've seen man-made earthquakes. We've seen them all over Ohio. They're happening almost on a daily basis. And now the state wants to fast-track fracking on our state lands. And enough is enough. It is just not acceptable to do. So is everybody ready to ban fracking now?
Yeah!
Ban fracking now!
Ban fracking now!
Ban fracking now! Ban fracking now!
Ban fracking now!
So, before I bring up Jean and Marianne here, really quickly I want to say thank you to all the folks who helped put together the lobby meetings and this rally and all of our speakers here today. Carolyn Harding from the Columbus Community Bill of Rights. Thank you, Carolyn. Roxanne Groff, and all the Athens County Fracking Action Network folks showing up in charge. We really appreciate that. And last but certainly not least, Beck, who's right over here, is my intern who relentlessly pursued your legislators to get as many meetings with them in actual person as possible. So thank you, Beck, thank you, ACFAN, and thank you, Carolyn. We really appreciate that. So I want to bring up first Jean Dowell, who is really an inspiration to me, and Marianne. They've written many different songs about fracking, and certainly serve as a reminder that peace is the way amid the chaos of our leaders continuing to depend on dirty fossil fuels. So Marianne and Jean, take it away.
Hello? Now you hear us. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. I wish it would be about 1,000 more because, this is so important. But for those who did come, we love you for being here. And we're going to do our song, Fight Every Day for Justice. We had some people ask us for this particular song, and we like it. And we know how important it is to end this terrible fracking. When you pick up on the words of the chorus, please join us. We gotta fight every day for justice. Stand up with courage and will, knowing we can make a difference. We can make this a better world still. Time just keeps right on passing. Wake up everybody and think they'll never stop until there's not a drop of good clean water to drink. Hey, we gotta fight every day for justice. Stand up with courage and will, knowing we can make a difference. We can make this a better world still. Hey, corporations now are people. Well, how are they they doing in this road? Well, they don't have a heart, they don't have a brain, and they surely don't have a soul. Hey, we gotta fight every day for justice. Stand up with courage and will, knowing we can make a difference. We can make this a better world still. Deceitful fracking corporation leave devastation in their wake, not caring for the earth or its people. No, it's all about the money they can make. Hey, we gotta fight every day for justice. Stand up with courage and will, knowing we can make a difference. We can make this a better world still. Let's stand and fight together. What they're doing is such a disgrace, turning our state of Ohio into a dumping ground for toxic waste. We gotta fight every day for justice. Stand up with courage and will, knowing we can make a difference. We can make this a better world still. Every day in our lives we have choices. Sometimes we need to take a stand when it's saving our food and water. We must do everything that we can. Everybody, we gotta fight every day for justice. Stand up with courage and will, knowing we can make a difference. We can make this a better world still. We can make this a better world still.
Thank you, Jean and Marianne. I really appreciate you being here. So now I want to welcome up Carolyn. She's really dedicated her heart and soul not only to stopping a local landfill from becoming a waste dump for toxic fracking waste and probably radioactive fracking waste, but she's standing up today with us fighting for a community Bill of Rights right here in Columbus. Carolyn Harding.
Hi everyone, hi! Welcome to Columbus, everyone that's from all over, from Athens, from Dayton, from Cleveland. Welcome to the heart of Ohio. We're all here because we love Ohio. We love our land, we love our agriculture, we love our children and our communities. And we're all concerned about Ohio's embrace of the fracking industry. The fracking industry is taking our water resources and turning it into radioactive, carcinogenic, endocrine disruptor, and neurotoxic hazardous water. And we are taking this waste and injecting it into our earth in abandoned vertical wells and new, large volume, high pressure injection wells. And Athens is getting a great amount of that in their community. And so is the Northeast. And we in Columbus have 13 active injection wells in our watershed as we speak. And these injection wells are known to leak. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a leak up north in an injection well, and it contaminated 2 wetlands and a farmer's lake. And this water, if it gets into our watershed, will cause cancer, will cause our people to get sick and die. So we are tired of being quiet about this issue. This issue will impact all of Ohio, and we need this to stop before Ohio becomes a sacrifice zone to the fracking industry. We are here to stand for Ohio people's inalienable rights for pure water, clean air, safe soil, and our right to say no to corporations and governments that are impacting our communities negatively with harmful pollution. And I just want to say that Columbus, we are with every other community here. We stand for you, we stand together, and we have a voice to say to Governor Kasich, we know you're trying to run for president. We know you want to make the state look economically successful. But people need to know that you have embraced this industry, and this industry will be the ruin of Ohio unless you decide and you listen to the people and stop this invasion. In Columbus, we not only have the injection wells that can pollute our watersheds, but we are taking the solid waste from the drill wells, which are called drill cuttings, and we are putting it in our landfills. These drill cuttings are potentially highly radioactive, can get into our water, and it's not just Columbus, it's all over Ohio. We also have bomb trains coming through the center of Columbus, coming from the Bakken crude area of the Dakotas. These trains are highly explosive and if they derail, they can cause bombs, and they have killed communities, killed 47 folks up in Canada when they were derailed. We also have apathy in Ohio. Ohioans are good people. They don't like to rock the boat. They want to do the right thing. But Ohioans, it's time. It's time to stand up and to say no to this industry. It's time to get together with your local communities. It's time to organize. And it's time to say, we the people are going to make the decision. I'm going to leave you with one quote from the Ohio Constitution, the State of Ohio Constitution. It is from the preamble of the Bill of Rights. It says here, all political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal protection and benefit, and we have the right to alter, reform, or abolish the same whenever we may deem it necessary. And people, it is necessary now. So believe me, we are here, and this is unacceptable, and it is time to do this and to follow our forefathers and foremothers in our Ohio Constitution. Thank you very much.
I love Carolyn's enthusiasm. Thank you, Carolyn. But I think we should follow that up with a little chant again. This is one of my favorites. So hang with me here, okay? It's a little bit complicated. 1, we are the people. 2, you can't ignore us. 3, we will not let you poison our water. 1, we are the people. 2, you can't ignore us. 3, we will not let you poison our water. 1, we are the people. 2, you can't ignore us. 3, we will not let you poison our water. 1, we are the people. 2, you can't ignore us. 3, we will not let you poison our water. Okay, so next up we have Terry Lodge. He is leading the charge here in the courts for the fight for justice here on several different environmental issues, from defending protesters against outrageous charges for civil disobedience, to working to defend our communities from the toxic and radioactive waste, to defending our community's right to stand up and say no to this dirty process. So I'm going to welcome up Terry Lodge.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Alison. That was a very kind introduction. Boy, where the hell is everybody? Man, this is the #1 industry that is controlling the politics of our state and of our lives and of many of our locales. It's pretty amazing to me that people are not sitting up and taking notice. This sort of reminds me a little bit of the famed abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison's observation 25 years before the Civil War and ultimately the end of slavery, formal slavery, when he said that the apathy of the people is enough to make statues leap from their pedestals and hasten the resurrection of the dead. Sometimes I feel that way, but it's heartening to see people from across the range of strategies that we have to adopt doing that in a lobby day and in Columbus, our fair state capital. What troubles me is that we have largely as a state been written off by most of the big greens. We have been written off politically. We have been written off, and if we don't face up to the fact that we have to be the cavalry, we will become the national sacrifice area that the politicians and the oil bigs want us to become. I'm here to talk about several things I'm involved in, but more to illustrate the fact that there is a place in our movement for a lot of creativity and a lot of strategy. I'm involved, among other things, in a lawsuit against Governor Kasich and Rick Simmers and the head of ODNR, to James Zeringer, to require something as simple as having the Kasich regime follow laws that it requested the General Assembly to pass. Specifically, there have to be regulations governing the facilities to blend and treat and dispose of fracking waste. Fracking waste is indeed radioactive, sometimes dangerously so. It is often laden with chemicals, and it also contains a lot of organic material that is carbon-based, which is basically the stuff from which petroleum is made. So we have a lawsuit going before the Court of Appeals here in Franklin County. We are simply trying to get a court order that says, Governor, you have to have regulations. You can't just issue permits willy-nilly to the 3 or 4 dozen corporations that are disposing in all manner of insidious ways of radioactive fracking waste. I'm also involved in handling a lawsuit against the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District, which is an agency that controls 14 lakes strewn through 18 counties and essentially has a certain degree of governing power over 22% of the landmass in Ohio. And they have presently over 25,000 acres of our public land under lease for fracking purposes. There are frack wells being developed under Seneca Lake, which I understand is the second or largest, third largest lake in the state of Ohio. We are talking about selling our heritage, endangering our water, endangering our natural resources, so that a very few might make a lot of money very quickly in maybe 1 generation or less. We're not talking about people who live here, people who make their living doing sound things that aren't hell-bent on destroying the earth. But there is room for other strategies. Carolyn has laid out the Community Bill of Rights approach, which is vital. I'm here to tell you and to repeat the fact that we have to be our own cavalry. The Monroe Falls decision, which I understand is going to be discussed in a few minutes. The Monroe Falls case decided by the Supreme Court basically declared that there's virtually no local means of control over fracking waste disposal, over natural gas pipeline transport. I think that there is. I think that we need to educate as many of our fellow Ohioans that we've got to take matters into our own hands. The old hang together or we will most certainly hang separately, folks. So it's a lovely spring day. I haven't even started talking about global warming and won't, but what we are doing is vital for us to have a livable environment in Ohio. But more than that, unless we stop fracking and its transport of gas and waste, we will indeed find ourselves in a generation's time, very deep in a global crisis that may be unmanageable by that time. So your efforts lobbying, your efforts talking to your neighbors, your efforts trying to persuade your local elected officials to pass a Bill of Rights, and failing that, taking matters into your own hands and undertaking an initiative referendum campaign, those are incredibly vital. The legal side of this, I've learned we're so deregulated that there are only a few guerrilla strategies. There are only a few things that you can try to target. And even at that, so we win, what if we win the chief's orders lawsuit, the suit to try to force the Cajun administration to finally begin to regulate the disposal of radioactive fracking waste. They'll probably implement terribly weak rules. But the point is that we have to become the force that compels governance. We are the people that have to do this year, this generation. We have to do it now, folks. Thank you.